Dear brothers and sisters, there's a particular kind of silence that surrounds singleness, not the peaceful kind. The kind that lingers in pews where sermons praise marriage and parenting but never mention the sacred beauty of a life lived faithfully outside of them. The kind that whispers in church bulletins filled with family activities, in social feeds full of engagements, in holidays that feel like reminders of what you don't have. The kind that makes you wonder if anyone sees you. If you're single and feeling forgotten by community, by culture, even by God, this moment is for you. This prayer is for those who are faithfully showing up, quietly serving, keeping the faith, and wondering if their life still counts in a world that often celebrates milestones they haven't reached. It's for the young adults waiting for a relationship that hasn't come, for the older men and women who've outgrown the singles ministry stage but haven't been welcomed into anything else, for those who have loved and lost, for those who've chosen singleness, for those who've had it chosen for them, and for those who are tired of pretending they're fine when they feel anything but. You are not forgotten, not by God, not here, not now. Your story is still sacred. There's no expiration date on your calling, no footnote on your worth, no gap in your value as a disciple of Christ. Your life matters right now, not someday when you get married. Not once you've found someone, not when the season shifts. And yes, I know that encouragement doesn't erase the ache, because sometimes the ache is real. It's in the unanswered prayers, the lonely Friday nights, the family events where you're the only one without a plus one, the subtle shift in conversations when people ask, "So, are you seeing anyone?" The inner questions you wrestle with. What if this is forever? Did I miss something? Is there something wrong with me? If that's what you've been carrying, bring it to this prayer, not the polished version, not the "I'm content" really speech, not the performance, just the truth. Because God doesn't need your filters. He wants your honesty. And He understands what it is to be overlooked, to walk alone, to serve faithfully and be misunderstood, to be surrounded by people and still feel unseen. Jesus knew that road. He walked it too. And in that journey, He never once lost sight of His purpose or His belovedness. You haven't either. Isaiah 49:15-16 reminds us, can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. You are not invisible. You are not a placeholder. You are not behind. And you are not lacking. You are loved entirely and unconditionally by a God who is not withholding from you, but walking with you in this. There's purpose in your life that no relationship status could ever give or take away. There's a calling on your name that hasn't expired just because your story looks different than theirs. There's a love for you that isn't waiting on someone else to activate it. So breathe. This is not a season to get through. It's not a punishment. It's not a mark of failure. It's not evidence of divine forgetfulness. It is a chapter of your life and God is writing in it. Today, this morning, I invite you to pause and enter prayer, not for a spouse, not for a change, not for a fix, but for a fresh awareness that you are seen, you are known. You are deeply loved, and you are never, ever forgotten. Let's pray together. God, I come to you this morning carrying more than I let most people see. There's a quiet ache I've learned to live with, a tenderness in my soul that doesn't always have words. Some days it feels like loneliness. Some days it feels like restlessness. Other days it just feels like silence. I bring it to you because I know you understand. You know what it's like to walk alone. You know what it's like to be misunderstood. You know what it's like to pour yourself out for others and still go unnoticed. You know what it's like to feel the weight of longing, even in the middle of obedience. And you're not afraid of what I'm feeling. So here I am, God. I'm not coming to pretend. I'm not coming to perform. I'm coming to be honest with you, and maybe with myself too. There are days I trust you easily. Days when singleness feels like a gift. Days when I sense your nearness in the quiet, and I'm grateful for the space, the freedom, the simplicity of life as it is. But there are other days when it hurts to hope, days when I wonder if I've been passed over, days when the silence from heaven echoes louder than my prayers. Days when I feel like the only one still waiting, still serving, still believing, still holding space for a story that hasn't unfolded. And on those days, I need you to remind me that I'm not forgotten, that I'm not behind, that I'm not being punished, that I'm not unloved. Because if I'm honest, Lord, sometimes it feels like I am, when the text goes unanswered, when the seat next to me stays empty, when family events center around spouses and kids, and I feel like a footnote, when sermons speak to marriage but not to me, when the world seems to move forward and I feel stuck. But you, God, you don't overlook, you don't forget. You don't move past the ones who quietly keep showing up. You don't measure my worth by my relationship status. You don't limit my purpose to a season of life. You see me, all of me, and you still call me good. Psalm 139, 1-3 says, You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. You know how hard it is sometimes. You know how much I want to trust you fully, deeply, but still feel the tension of longing. You know how hard it is to hold on to hope without falling into shame. You know what it costs to keep believing when everything inside me wants to stop asking. So today, God, I'm not asking you to fix it. I'm asking you to meet me in it, to draw near not because I've earned your attention, but because you're just that kind, to remind me that I still have purpose, even if I never say I do, to help me see the beauty in this life, not just what's missing from it, to help me believe that my story still matters, because it does. Even when I feel overlooked by people, I am held by you. Even when I feel alone, I am anchored in your presence. Even when I feel unworthy, I am covered in grace. Even when I question everything, I am never outside of your love. And so I pray, let my singleness not be something I survive, but something I live, fully, deeply, bravely, with faith that my life is no less holy, no less meaningful, no less sacred because of it. Use me, God, not someday when my life looks different, but right now, in this body, in this season, with this story. Use me to love, to serve, to build, to witness, to walk in the fullness of who you created me to be. Teach me not to wait on a milestone to start living. Teach me that you are not withholding joy until I meet someone, but that joy is still being offered right now in you. Remind me that marriage is not a reward for being faithful, and singleness is not a punishment. That both are sacred callings, both are worthy, both reflect your image, and that I am not in limbo, I am in purpose. I lay down the timelines I've built, the comparisons I've made, the bitterness I've buried, the shame I've internalized, the fears I've been too afraid to name. And I choose again to trust you, to believe you still write beautiful stories, to believe you're still writing mine. Whether it includes a spouse or not, let it include you, because that's what I really long for, God. More than a partner, more than a family, more than a new season, I long for closeness with you, to be known, to be seen, to be loved, to be useful in your kingdom. And you've already given me all of that, so today I receive it. Even if the ache is still there, even if nothing changes, even if I have to wait longer than I hoped, I choose to believe you're in this with me, not just at the finish line, but in every step of the journey. Thank you for loving me fully, completely, unconditionally. Thank you for reminding me that I'm not forgotten. Thank you for calling me by name when the world only sees what's missing. Thank you for being enough for me. You always have been, and you always will be. Amen. Dear brothers and sisters, before you go, I want to remind you of something the world may never say out loud, but heaven never forgets. Your life is not on pause. You are not a side character in someone else's story. You are not waiting to become something. You are not a placeholder, a prayer request waiting to be fulfilled, a soul stuck in spiritual waiting rooms. You are already whole, already loved, already enough. Your singleness does not disqualify you from joy. It doesn't delay your purpose. It doesn't make you less valuable in God's kingdom. If anything, this season, though often misunderstood, is sacred. It invites you to lean in closer, to build roots of identity that aren't tangled up in someone else's approval, to serve out of freedom, to love out of overflow, to become so rooted in God's love that nothing and no one can define your worth but Him. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. God doesn't love you conditionally. He doesn't start using you once you reach some milestone. He is with you. He delights in you. He calls you forward today. So go gently. Let go of the pressure to prove yourself. Let go of the narrative that says you're incomplete. Let go of the comparison that keeps stealing your peace. You are already living a life that matters, right here, right now, in this body, in this chapter, with this heart that still dares to trust. And if this prayer gave you even a moment of peace, if it met you where you needed to be seen, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below. What truth are you holding on to today? Let's encourage each other. Let this be a space where every season is honored. Share this with someone else who might be quietly struggling in singleness. You never know what comfort your courage could give someone else. And if you'd like to stay connected, be sure to subscribe. There's a place for you here. Not when your life changes, not when the relationship comes, but now as you are. Today, may you walk with quiet confidence. Not because every longing is gone, but because love is already here. For God sees you. God knows you. God delights in you. And God is not finished with your story. You are not forgotten, And remember, in everything give thanks.